Let's be honest, it's not easy to create a flaky, buttery crust from scratch that's also low in calories and saturated fat. The very things that give great pie crusts the texture and taste that we love also give them calories. But through lots of trial and error, I've found a way to create crusts that are lighter and healthier, but also delicious. Here are my top pie crust tips. Get your butter and shortening good and cold. Cold butter doesn't mix as well with the flour and the other dry ingredients, and that's exactly what you want. When the crust goes into the oven, those little pockets of cold butter heat up and produce steam, creating yummy, flaky layers. How cold? Your butter should be 35 to 38 degrees. If your fridge isn't that cold, stick your butter in the freezer for 20 to 30 minutes to make sure it's really cold. The kind of shortening you use also matters. I prefer Earth Balance natural shortening sticks, which have a third less saturated fat than butter without the hydrogenated oils. It's filled with teeny tiny air bubbles that create flaky layers in the crust, and combining the two gives the best possible flavor and flakiness. You can find Earth Balance natural shortening sticks in the refrigerated section of most grocery stores. Use ice water. Ice water will provide a little extra insurance for your pie crust. It helps keep the butter cold. Put 3 to 4 ice cubes in a coffee cup with water. Then measure out what you need from the cup, 1 tablespoon at a time. Add a little vinegar. Vinegar helps prevent gluten from forming. While you may want gluten to form structure in your baked bread, you don't want it in your pie crusts. Vinegar will create a tender crust. As it evaporates in the oven, it leaves flaky layers in its wake. Use the mildest vinegar you can find, like white distilled vinegar. Vodka also works. Roll out the dough quickly. This helps keep the butter cold as possible. If you spend too much time handling the dough, the butter will warm up and melt. Then it will act like glue, leaving you with a crust that's greasy and tough. Finally, use a minimal amount of flour on your work surface.